Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In today's video, we will learn about the classes and what are the types of classes. As you can see on your board, I have given the definition of class. What do you mean by class? Class is a group of words with subject and verb combination, and it has a complete meaning by itself. Clause is basically group of words with a subject and a verb combination and a complete meaning by itself. When you have these three conditions in a sentence, that means that sentence, you can say this is a clause. This is a clause. Okay. You can consider a simple sentence as a clause. Okay. यहाँ पे मैंने एक एग्जांपल दी है. He play cricket regularly. He play cricket regularly. Now, is this a clause? For that, we need to check. Is it satisfying all three conditions? What are those conditions? Group of words, subject and verb combination, complete meaning by itself. If these three conditions are there, that means this very example is in a class. Okay. He play cricket regularly. First of all, if you can see, this is made up of words. And you can also see there is a subject and a verb combination. As you can see, he is a subject, play is a verb. Play is a verb. That means subject and verb combination is there. And the third one, is it giving the complete meaning? You can see, he play cricket regularly. Yes, it gives a meaning. It gives a meaning. That means when these three conditions are there, that means that very particular simple sentence can be a clause. Okay, that means he plays cricket regularly is a clause. Okay, now types of clause. Types of clause. There are two types of clause. One is independent clause and second one is dependent clause. Independent clause and second one is dependent clause. What do you mean by dependent clause? A dependent clause is a complete sentence by itself. Independent clause is a complete sentence by itself. And it does not need any other clause for its existence. You have to remember this. The independent clause is a complete sentence by itself and it does not require any other clause for its existence. For example, you may sit. You may sit. You can see you is a subject, sit is a verb. Okay? If you can see, this whole sentence is giving us a complete thought. Is it giving us a complete thought? That means it's an independent clause. The second one is dependent clause. Dependent clause. What do you mean by dependent clause? Dependent clause. In dependent clause, you have a subject and verb combination. Subject and verb combination. And the second one is that it does not give us a complete thought. That means जो dependent clause होता है वो dependent होता है किस पर? Independent clause पर. Dependent clause is dependent on independent clause for a complete thought. For a complete thought. यहाँ पे मैंने example दे दी है. Whenever you like. Whenever you like. Okay. If you can see, you is a subject and like is a verb. It is a verb. But it does not give us a it gives us a meaning, but it does not give us a complete meaning. Okay, if I will add here, you may sit, wherever you like. Now it gives us a complete meaning. Okay, whenever you like is a dependent clause. You may sit, it is an independent clause. That means dependent clause has to be dependent on independent clause, so that we will have a complete thought. Okay, now further here, if you can see here, the entire thought is completely noun. Okay, the dependent clause is further divided into three types, that is noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Okay, what do you mean by noun clause? Noun clause means group of words with subject and verb combination of its own. It acts as a noun. It acts as a noun in a sentence. You have to remember this. What do you mean by noun clause? Noun clause is a group of words. We know that. With subject and verb combination. There should be a subject and verb combination of its own. And it acts as a noun in a sentence. For example, I fear, I will fail. I will fail, here is a group of words which is a clause. And this whole clause, I will fail, is acting as an object of a verb fear. So it is a noun clause. That means I will fail, you can see I will fail. I here is a subject, fail is a verb. That means I will fail is a clause which is entirely acting as an object of a verb fear. So it is a noun clause. Okay. The second one is adjective clause. What do you mean by adjective clause? It's same. A group of words with subject and verb combination of its own, and it acts as an adjective in a sentence. As you know, what does adjective mean? Adjective means it describes a noun. So does the adjective clause. Here is an example. The umbrella which has a broken handle is mine. Here, which has a broken handle is a clause. In this clause, you can see broken here is a verb, handle is a subject. Okay. Here, it describes the noun. What is noun here? Umbrella. Okay. So that means when something is describing the noun, that's an adjective. So here this clause which has a broken handle, it describes the noun which here is an umbrella. Okay. Same is the adverb clause. What does a group of words with subject and verb combination? It acts as an adverb. What do you mean by adverb? Which modifies or describes a verb, adjective or adverb. What does adverb do? It modifies verb, adjective or adverb. So does the adverb clause. यहाँ पे मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया. They rested when the evening came. They rested. They rested when the evening came. When the evening came, here is in clause. In this clause, we have a subject and verb combination. What is subject here? It is evening. And what is verb here? It is came. So if you can see, it describes the verb. It describes the verb here. The verb here is rested. So it is an adverb. So it is an adverb clause. So it is an adverb clause. So what do you mean by adverb clause? Adverb clause is a group of words with a subject and verb combination. It acts as an adverb. Works as an adverb. तो मेरे ख्याल से आपको समझ आया होगा कि क्लास किससे बोलते हैं, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ क्लॉजेस. तो इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है, डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज की फर्दर फिर टाइप्स है, नाउन क्लॉज है, एडजेक्टिव क्लॉज है, एडवर्ब क्लॉज है. थैंक यू.